Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 7 p.m. and time for our monthly planning meeting for Yukon. Our first items are the invocation, which will be given by Commissioner Baker, and then the flag salute given by Commissioner Davis. Would you please stand?
Heavenly Father, we ask for your divine guidance that we may do the best for the people of Yukon and all of its citizens. We ask your protection for our armed forces, both home and abroad, our law enforcement, EMTs and paramedics, and all those that look to protect us in our homes. Protect us as we go from here tonight. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Address the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Chairman Taylor, Commissioner Davis,
Here.
Commissioner Hatley,
Here.
Commissioner Baker.
Here.
All right. Our first item is the approval of the minutes for August 8th, 2016.
I move we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adopt the minutes for August 8th, 2016. Is there any discussion? All right. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Yes?
Commissioner Hatley,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
All right, the next item is for visitors. If they'd like to discuss a non-agenda item, please step to the microphone. All right. Seeing none, we will proceed. I'd also at this point like to remind everyone that since we only have 3 members here, that any no vote is a down vote for the motion. Okay, thanks. All right, item 3 is to hear requests by John Nail Construction for a circular drive curb cut located at Stone Mill Phase 4, better known as 612 Beckman Court, Yukon, Oklahoma.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time. It's something that I've done a few times a year for several years. I'll have an owner that would like to have a circle driveway, and that according to your ordinances, we got to come for approval. So that's what I'm here for.
All right, just the usual curb cut, right?
Yes,
All right.
sir.
That's a lot of concrete.
Have a motion?
Yeah, I'll read the motion. In the case of the request by John Nail to construct a circular driveway at 612 Beckman Court, we have read the staff report and received testimony at the public hearing. We find ourselves in agreement with staff findings, including all plans and attachments cited in the staff report. I move that this item be approved with the following.
Second?
Approved as.
Sounds good. Any discussion? Any questions from anybody? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
Thanks for staying.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Our next item is a request by John Libby, Route 66 surveying for a final plat, being a tract of land in the southeast quarter of the northeast quarter of all of Lot 1, Block 2, West Endpoint, Section 2 addition, in addition to the city of Yukon, Canadian County, Oklahoma, better known as 1551 Garth Briggs Boulevard, Yukon, Oklahoma. Is that fine?
That's fine.
Please give us a little, what's your guys, are any changes from the preliminary plat or?
No, there are no changes. All they're trying to do is just get it split so they can put 2 small restaurant-type places on it.
I guess this was going to be do we know what this restaurant's going to be?
The first place they're doing it for is Panda Express, and for the second one, I haven't heard anything else other than it will be the same kind of establishment.
Right. Okay. That's what we'd heard, so we weren't sure if it would change or not. Okay.
Is there no changes? Okay.
Do a motion?
I'll read a motion. In the case of the application for a final plat for Bannister Engineering LLC, we have read the staff report and received testimony at the public hearing. We find ourselves in agreement with the staff recommendations cited in the staff report. I move that this item be recommended for approval to the city council.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any comments or discussion? You guys? Anyone else? All right, seeing none, roll please.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley?
Yes.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, our next item is to hear requests by the city of Yukon, Will Johnson Trinity Asset Group LLC for a rezone from R1 and C3 to single-family residential district, restricted commercial district, to R1 single-family residential district. A tract of land being a part of the southeast quarter of Section 16, Township 12 North, Range 5 East of the Indian Meridian, Caney County, Oklahoma. This is the property just north of the Walmart Neighborhood Market and south of Rosewood Addition. Is that Thomas right?
Thank you,
And would you
Commissioner.
please state your name and address, please?
I'm Will Johnson. I'm the CEO of Trinity Asset Group in Oklahoma City. And we're here today to request a rezone, but it's not so much that much of a rezone. You have 10 acres there currently R1, and then just south of that you have approximately 32 acres zone C3. We'd like to increase the R1 to about 30 acres and then place the C3, decrease it down to approximately 12 acres.
Okay. So pretty much everything that's going to abut to the Rosewood Addition is
Yes,
going to be R1 now.
Yeah, R1, single-family homes, is still abutting and just south of Rosewood.
Okay.
It's just a little larger tract now that we're requesting be allowed to be single-family homes.
Okay. Do I have a motion? No. It's public hearing. Do I have any comments from the audience or anything? Yes, sir.
Sir,
Can you could step up to the microphone? Give your name and address, please.
I'm Lee Clark at 4104 Champlain Court in Rosewood. And I just wanted to make sure we're talking about just houses, like a new housing addition going in between the Walmart and the
That's correct.
and the
Yeah.
existing neighborhood.
That's
Okay.
I
Okay.
have some handouts. I didn't have time to put together large elevations for you, but I do have handouts.
Whatever you got.
Sure, that'd be great, thanks.
Looking for. Be happy to share that with you.
That'd be great.
Now, the handouts he has are representations of houses that might be built
Right.
or similar types.
Yeah,
We can probably discuss the types of houses and the
That too.
preliminary
Yes.
plat next,
Yeah.
so.
Yes, that's
We'll
what he's
talk about
getting ready
that
to
in-
hand
We don't
out.
need to go into detail.
Well, the next one will be that. This is
Yeah.
just rezoning. This is actually taking away some of the commercial that's right there and
Right.
making it R1 for you, making more of a buffer, Rosewood.
Cool.
Mr. Chairman, this is part of a due diligence that Mr. Williams is working on, so the city is involved in this. We believe it's a better use to go to an R1 than probably a C3, give a buffer between
Right.
them and Rosewood and any commercial that might happen. So staff has reviewed this and is recommending approval.
Okay.
So this will prevent C3 from going all the way to Rosewood.
That's correct.
That's
Actually,
right.
it's gonna, yes.
So you won't have commercial.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Good, okay.
It's actually better than it is now. Yeah, he's
Yeah, the
changing.
homes will be very similar, we believe, into the builders we've chosen to the Rosewood Addition. It'll be 1,800 to 2,200 square feet, mostly brick and stone,
Yeah,
full pitch roofs, very attractive three-car garage.
All right. Did you have anything else?
perfect. No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Does anyone else have any comments or questions about the rezone? Can you step up to the microphone, please, and give your name and address?
I'm Debbie Story, and I live in Rosewood.
She has to
Can you
give her
step up to
physical
the mic?
address.
This is where the camera is and that someone can.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Mr.
right.
Chairman, she has to give her physical address as a requirement.
Yeah, you're-
4108 Evening Star.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
I just was wondering how many homes you think that they will build back there? Just,
It's 90.
Approximately right now, we have laid out about 100 lots. 100 homes.
You're welcome, ma'am. Are there any further questions or comments about this? No? Commissioners, any questions?
No, no questions.
A motion?
I'll do the motion. In the case of the application for rezoning submitted by First American Partners LLC on behalf of the City of Yukon Municipal Authority, we have read the staff report and received testimony at the public hearing. We find ourselves in agreement with staff findings, including all plans and attachments cited in the staff report. I move that rezoning of the subject property be recommended for approval to the City Council.
Second.
All right. I have a motion and a second. Are there any further discussions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Hatley?
Yes.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Thank you. You're up again. All right. Item 6 is a notice is hereby given that the City of Yukon Planning Commission will hold a public hearing today in the Centennial Building at 12 South 5th Street to hear requests by City of Yukon, Will Johnson, Trinity Asset Group LLC for a preliminary plat, a tract of land being a part of the southeast quarter of Section 16, Township 12 North, Range 5, west of the Indian Meridian, Canadian County, Oklahoma. Is that fine, Mr. Attorney? That's the same piece of property as we just discussed on item 5.
Okay.
Okay.
We have now, of course, thankfully passed the rezone request. The preliminary plat is preliminary because I'm working with the city, and this is my engineer, Charles Allen, on the drainage. That there is some issue there, and where we will put the retention pond, or maybe two. So that will change the R1 layout a bit. We probably will lose some lots, but we're working, confidently with the city to get that resolved. Then the commercial side, we're just doing the rezone at this time. We're not platting it right now at this time.
What about that? The whole sticking point seems to be with this, there's an issue with that finger, that jutting
Oh,
out that's out there.
Thank you,
Can we
sir, for bringing
discuss
that up.
just to make
Okay.
sure that
I've been in contact with Gary Reynolds, the pastor of the First Nazarene Church, and there were some vacations going on in the last 2 months, but he indicated that he would be able to get me a meeting with the elders of the church in the next couple of weeks. Now, our plan is to, because that long finger-like piece that reaches out to the west is 80 feet long by like 736 feet long and 80 wide. And so you can't do anything with it. You
Right.
can't build anything
No
on it.
access
So
to it.
our plan was to discuss with the church a barter. And I would take half of what our size was or is to the north of the church for a slice of land to the east of the church, which would accent the commercial side and give us possibly a better egress and access into that third curb cut. So we plan to have a meeting with them soon, and hopefully they will be interested in that barter. If that option doesn't work, then our plan is to gift it to the church.
And this is where I see that the houses will be comparable. We discussed that in the last one, but this is kind of what that preliminary plat is going to be, and we have this here. And there's quite a range of houses in Rosewood. What are you going to use as a comparable?
Sure. Well, they'll be 90% brick or stone. In most cases, they'll be one story, but there will be some two-story. Probably 60% will be one story. As I said, probably between 18 to 2,200 square feet. Most will have 3-car garages. They'll have a 12-pitch composite roof. Like I said, we're not the actual builder, we're the developer, but this is the threshold we're going to state to all home builders that are looking to build there. They have to build this type of fine quality new home, or they won't be allowed to build there. So, do you have any other questions?
Commissioners, any questions?
Is the only buffer you have between the Walmart site and that is just that little strip that Walmart left there?
Yes, sir. Now, we expect that far east piece and the far west piece of the commercial tract will probably be attractive to a regional restaurant, you know, like a Chili's or Applebee's. We've already had conversations with many fine restaurants and retailers about this piece, and there's quite a bit of attraction and interest.
That's good. There's not a whole lot of restaurants on that side.
That's correct.
No chicken, no. We're not going to chicken.
That's the other side too.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, on this also, city staff as well as upper management and city, they're requiring the houses to be comparable. That would be part of the requirements, and the restrictive covenants is what he's talking about, is what we're going to require.
Okay.
So we're going to make sure that they're very similar.
Thanks, Mayor. Is any more questions from the audience, or? Yes, sir.
I was just gonna,
Please step up and state your name again
yeah, that's all right.
All right.
Lee Clark,
and address.
4104 Champlain Court. You guys plan on doing an HOA
Oh, yeah.
for your,
Yes, sir.
okay. I didn't know if you thought about combining with the Rosewood HOA, or, I don't know,
Certainly be glad to talk about it.
yeah. But it's just something to think about. Anyway,
Thank you. ma'am.
Absolutely.
just
Good
my
to-
question.
Sorry.
Debbie Story, 4108 Evening Star. Do you know how many access points you're going to have to that and where they're going to be at this time?
Well, preliminarily, right now, we have the 2 egress and access for the city's help and assistance coming in off North Yukon Parkway. There was talk possibly about if the city felt it necessary to bring a egress and access from the southwest corner of the residential addition south to the to Main Street.
Yes.
If that was something that needed to be done in the final plat, we're certainly open to that. The main thing right now is getting the drainage
Yeah,
calculations.
isn't that where your drainage might be at that point, possibly?
You know, when you have any idea, Charlie, where we might put the,
Charles Allen Engineering. The site kind of
And your address,
drains,
please?
splits, pardon me,
And your address, please.
1601 Southwest 89th Street, Oklahoma City. The site kind of drains east to west down the middle, so in the west side drains to the northwest, and the east side kind of drains to the middle of the site right now. So we're probably looking at a detention pond in the northwest corner, or we'll also explore if the Rosewood Pond has any capacity left in it, whether we can pipe directly to that detention facility. And then on the east side, we're probably going to lose 3 or 4 lots over on at the entrance there to provide on-site detention. So
All right. Thank you. Is there any questions for him?
No.
and we may look at also trying to provide the commercial detention, combining that with the residential, just from an efficiency standpoint. We haven't started
Yeah,
the
no,
study yet.
certainly. Thanks.
So thank you.
Mr. Johnson, what about the slowing of the traffic? I think there was something in here about,
That is, Mr. Chairman, that's something we're going to work with the engineer on, some traffic calming techniques. One of the things that they already put in there was a cross street for proposing to slow that down. That's one of the things they already added.
oh, good.
and of course, another, you've seen them everywhere now, speed bumps. They just put a little speed
Yeah.
bump in there.
Yeah,
Mm.
Mr. Gaylor has one in front of his house. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions from the audience? Or? Commissioners, any more questions?
Nope.
Can I have a motion?
Well,
All right.
in the case of the application for preliminary plat, well, maybe I won't. For preliminary plat submitted by First American Partners LLC on behalf of the City of Yukon Municipal Authority, we have read the staff report and received testimony in the public hearing. We find ourselves in agreement with all plans and attachments cited in the staff report dated September 14th, 2016. I move that this item be recommended for approval with the covenant that a split lot be processed for the finger of the land located on the west side of the plat, and a variance permission be granted to exclude this portion of property from the plat with the following conditions. All staff requested revisions, notes, and staff reports 6 through 10 shall be incorporated into the plat prior to the issuance of any building permits. 2, if deemed appropriate, the developer shall process a lot split for the finger of the property along the west side of the proposed plat for the intended purpose of deeding the property to the Yukon Church of the Nazarene. The lot split must be completed prior to the approval of the final plat for the Bella Vista Estates property.
Are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Mhm. We hope to have that done in 2 weeks.
Mitch, did we cover everything in that? Mitch? Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any further questions? Anybody else? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes?
Commissioner Hatley?
Yes.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you so much.
All right. Is there any new business, Mitch, Kathy?
No new business tonight.
All right. So open discussion. Commissioners have anything on their mind to discuss?
Check Fest coming up?
Check Fest is coming up, guys. Get out there. All right. This meeting is adjourned. Our next meeting is October 10th, 2016.